This is my recap for Thursday, January 24th. I overtraded today, and I overtraded massively, and I took a total of 14 trades over the day. And at the beginning, I traded really well until I did not, and Netflix screwed me again when it made a massive move to the upside, and I was way too early. And I really asked myself, how often can one make the same mistake over and over again? I really hope I finally learned my lesson, but yeah, more to it in a moment. Um, I did trade some trades in NVDA. I had the 157, 158, and 159 levels as potential resistance, and 154.50, 153.50, and the SMA 50 below here for support. The market yesterday or on Thursday traded in a range, in a narrow range. The SPY gapped up a bit overnight and ranged the whole day. Sold off, found a bid, rallied up, traded lower, and ran up into the close. Day of indecision, I would say. However, there was good movement in the market, and I started trading with Tesla. However, I started with NVIDIA here. I saw NVIDIA retest its prior highs here and formed this decision candle. I was a little bit early, but eventually it dropped. But when it found support here and ran back up and formed this candle here, I immediately took off the trade break even. It then rejected this 157 level, and on the way down, and no, actually it spiked above 157, and when it dropped 157 back, I went short, but there was no follow through, and I was a little early, but this time I stuck to it and figured 158 might hold support, and it did. I watched it find resistance at the $0.50. Formed this decision candle here, not the cleanest, and I saw it retest, and then went short when it broke, but I was too slow and it dropped very fast. So my average was at 157.20, and I immediately took off half just to lower my size. It was a good call. There was no follow through, not like I wanted to see it. We didn't even hit my target. I wasn't filled here at the $0.50, so I took it off and went on. Later I I tried it again and again. Here this was not a clean entry. Even though I saw it consolidate here below it, and I stuck for it for a moment and eventually took off some when it came up from the $0.50, but took it off eventually break even. I was very glad I did take it off here because it left me with an open mind, and yeah, as I saw this trend line form and break out of it, I refused to take a stab here because I figured it might just do a retest and then make a move higher, and it actually did. I could have taken a stab here, but after my Netflix disaster, I was kind of out of confidence, and yeah, wanted to see other trades. So when I kept watching it and was very patient, I saw the 158 level, and I had my fingers on the keyboard, but I did not take a stab. I saw it break and trade higher, and I really wanted to see a decision candle make and see some sort of consolidation or rejection, and we finally saw it like at 158.50s. Nvidia tested 158.50, but it never lifted. There was an offer sitting, and you saw the bid coming from 40s closer to 50s, falling down, but the offer always remained around 50 cents. So it was very interesting, and I was watching very closely. And when it dropped the $0.50 again, after it broke the $0.50 and made it up to 55, 56 cents. The offer was up to 60 cents, but we never printed up on the offer. So I was looking at very closely, and once we broke back below the $0.50, I took a small stab, and I really should have taken more size. I don't know. I just hit the wrong button, and yeah, we tested the $0.50 again, but never lifted back up. I had my hard stop around here above highs at 61 cents for like 10 or 12 cents entry, so I could have really taken some size. Then we started to drop, and I did not add here, which was a big mistake. I took a partial at the $0.50, eventually just to see it break, and yeah. So I watched it. I saw this. I moved my stop up here when I saw these candles form, and yeah, I saw this drop, and I wanted to see the move down to the EMA. And when we lifted back up here over 80 cents, I saw a held offer. I just didn't like it, and I took off more, and stuck with the rest for this initial move. Missed my exit here, as I just had like 10 shares left, and I really wanted to see the move to VWAP, which was very okay. And I did something very odd. I added back, and it's very good. It's progress, Marcus. It's progress. So I saw this candle here, missed my entry here as I didn't trust it, and oh, actually no, that's wrong. I actually yeah, we made a fast move down, and I hit the button here, but it was too slow and filled like very badly on the very low. I had my average was right here at top now, like with the remaining 10 and the ad. And I was really worried for a moment, as you know, like it looked very strong, and I thought it just made a spike down and move immediately up to make a backside trade before going lower. So I had my fingers on the exit, and that's the reason why I took half off into the 80 cents level that we tested on several occasions here, and that always showed some support. So, but I stuck with the rest, took more off at the $0.50, and then when it broke up here, and I missed most of the move after that, as we broke down to up to 156 and lower. But good trade whatsoever. So I did really good trade. Did trade very well on Tesla. As I missed the open in the days before, I was a little bit more. I was too early. I had 282 as support level, and 277 below that. So I was too early, and I thought, it's gonna go south. However, this 79 level, 279 level held, and here I exited by accident. I wanted to set a profit target at 282.50s, at 288, just above my entry, and somehow I must have hit the wrong button, and I took a loss here. So, and then I just stuck with the rest, and I mean I could have added here more, but I didn't. I just left it on and scaled out as we made highs, and did really good here. This one was into the previous into the 284 level that we tested in pre-market and the days before, and then here I took off the last piece instead of waiting for the last run. But then I did really good into this 89 level. Tesla traded up into this above this 289 level, and it made big spikes in here, and there was quite some volume and choppiness. And so when we moved back down, like just before the candle was closing, I shorted, and it was a good call. And I really could have added here on the break of the decision candle to add more, but I was too slow. It was dropping so fast, and I had already an order down to take profit for half at 88, and it was taken. I couldn't. I was even too slow to take off, like this target order. So when we dropped down, and I took more off into 287 and below, and it was a quick move and was very nice. And I kept trading. I should have just kept trading Tesla the whole day. I mean, you could play the range down here. There were clean entries when we found support at VWAP the whole day. I mean, there are like so many entry opportunities here, but I missed most of them, and I just watched them as I was still busy with Netflix. However, later in the day, I saw this decision candle form, and by then Tesla traded very slowly. And but I gave it a stab, and it was a good call. I had my stop and played with the thought of taking off half every time it moved against me because I didn't trust it. But I'm glad I stuck to my stop. And when we eventually broke, I again took a profit at 288, took off more at 87, and was a bit early here, but stuck with the rest here to take it off once we broke here. It was a good call. Very nice trade in Tesla again for another 2 or 3 points. Then I tried Baba, but it just chopped around and didn't work out. Was a break-even trade after all. It was more or less break-even. I took a little more size here. It retested backside, and I took off half, and because I was scared, I got scared out, and yeah, it was a bad call. Took profit into the EMA, which was in confluence with this support here. And eventually I saw a held offer, and it looked like it would break, and I saw it decrement and took off the rest, and 2 minutes later we broke out, and it was a good call to exit. Then I traded Facebook. I saw this bear flag form, saw this decision candle. There was no follow through. Entry was good. Then I was busy with something else, missed my ad, and eventually took off half here and rest here, as there was no follow through. I just didn't like the action, and small loss here. So this was Facebook. Then there was Apple, but Apple is not working out. I saw it come into 152.50, and there was just no follow through. I traded in and out and was break even. It's Apple. I don't like Apple. That's pretty much it. But then there was my Netflix disaster once again, and I forgot to take a screenshot of it. So 1 second. I just have my screenshot. So, well, I missed Netflix here. Oops. I missed my entry here and missed the whole move down here. And I had I had 325 for resistance. Then I had 328 for resistance, and finally 332. But I never expected it to make it up to here. It was a huge move, and Netflix even. I mean, I saw it had a time around here at 329. The RSI was at 100 on a 2 minute 14 period RSI, and then I don't think I remember seeing that. It literally hit 100 and remained there for a moment. Very crazy. However, I did very bad. I was pyramiding in, and I entered too early. So after missing my entry, I thought we might do like a backside retest and for a sell-off, as the market wasn't in according to the market. So my first step was at 325 resistance, and we spiked up. There was this decision candle forming, and I really should have taken off the trade here and taken my loss. Now I did even worse. I added at the 326 high of the day for a potential move to have an average around here. Like I saw just the potential profit and didn't see the risk. But Netflix broke out. Here I was faked in. We never broke this decision candle. I was patient. I took the low, but I didn't wait for the break and added even more here. I was pyramiding up. I started with 10 shares, then I added 20 shares. Here I added 30 shares. And I piled in and I literally doubled down. And here again, I was too early. 329 never broke. Like there was a small candle, but 329 held, and I was too early to add here. The first entry that was good, like after this initial one here, these were all not good. This was the first one, which was okay. It was a bad fill, but we rejected 331. We started to consolidate for a moment and even broke, but like this 329.50, 330 level was very, very tough and very strong support. So I missed my ad here. I didn't trust it. I really wanted to see a retest of 332 and really expected it to do so. So my average was at 328.50. It was a really bad average, and I was really worried because the distance to VWAP was way too small. So at that time I was just trying to get out with as little loss as possible. So I took off my first loss below the 330 level at the support, and which was a good call because I thought, okay, if I lighten up, my size was already high. I really thought we would make like a backside trade and maybe like form a decision candle or something here before continuing lower. And so I wanted to lighten up and took off I think a quarter of my position. So but we never made it back up here, so I just scaled out once we got into 329, and then this one was a little early and finally took a big chunk off at half. Eventually held on to a piece, and when we into the 327, and it just gave me something back, and here I took it off break even. I just didn't trust it. I didn't want to get stung. I had to move back in, and yeah, it was a bad move. Yeah, I hope I learned my lesson, but I doubt it. I think the chances are good I'm gonna repeat my mistakes over and over again. So yeah, really have to work on it. I adjusted my size a bit and gave my trading size a little bit more thought overnight, and came up with a potential good idea, and I keep you posted whether that's gonna work out. And really looking forward to this Friday and the last session of the week. So there's always the next trade. Be patient, and thank you very much for watching.